There are places that feel like you've been there before, not once, not twice, but enough times that your body remembers them even if your mind doesn't. A hallway like this shouldn't feel familiar. It's empty, silent, cold, and yet you know it. You recognize the way the lights flicker above you. You recognize the distance between the doors. You recognize the sound of your own footsteps echoing just slightly too long. You walk forward because standing still feels wrong, because something inside you tells you, this is where you're supposed to go. The air feels heavy, not thick, just wrong, like it hasn't been disturbed in a long time. And maybe it hasn't. Maybe no one has been here. Not recently, not ever. You look ahead. There's a door at the end of the hallway, slightly open, just enough to notice, just enough to matter. And without thinking, you start walking toward it. The light above you flickers again. You didn't notice it at first, but now you can't ignore it. It hums, buzzes, then cuts out completely. For just a second, total darkness, and in that moment, something changes. You don't see it, you don't hear it, but you feel it, like something moved while the light was off, like something used that moment to get closer. The light comes back. Everything looks the same. The hallway, the doors, the floor. Nothing has changed, but your body knows better. You look behind you. The hallway stretches farther than before, longer than it should be. And the door you came from doesn't look the same anymore. You turn back. The door ahead is still there, still open, still waiting, and now it feels closer than before. You step inside the classroom. The air changes immediately. It's colder here, still, like nothing has moved in a long time. The desks are arranged perfectly, too perfectly. Each one aligned, each chair pushed in. But something isn't right. The angles feel wrong, like everything was placed by someone who didn't fully understand how it should look. You walk between the rows. Your footsteps don't echo the same way anymore. The sound is dull, absorbed, like the room doesn't want to give anything back. You look at the board. There are marks on it, faint, erased, but not completely, like something was written and then removed in a hurry. You try to read it, but your eyes can't focus. The letters don't stay still long enough to understand. You step back. And that's when you notice one of the chairs is facing the wrong direction. You stop right there between the rows of desks, because something about that chair doesn't make sense. It's not just turned, it's positioned like someone was sitting there, facing you, watching you enter the room. You look around again. Every other chair is perfectly aligned, uniform, predictable, except that one. And the longer you stare at it, the more it feels intentional, not random, not accidental. Placed, deliberately. You slowly take a step back, toward the doorway. But the doorway doesn't feel like safety anymore. It feels like a boundary. Like once you cross it, something will change again. You glance behind you. The hallway is darker now. Darker than it was before you entered. Like the light outside is fading or being taken. You look forward again. The chair hasn't moved. But now it feels closer. And you don't remember walking toward it. You leave the classroom. You don't remember deciding to. But suddenly you're back in the hallway. And everything feels slightly different. The air is heavier. The silence deeper. You walk forward again. Because standing still is worse. Because turning back isn't an option anymore. You find a door. A restroom. The light inside flickers, but it's still on. You push it open. The sound echoes too much, too long. Inside it's empty. Rows of sinks. Mirrors stretching across the wall. Too many reflections. You step closer. Your reflection appears, then another, repeating endlessly, but something is wrong. One of them doesn't move exactly the same way you do. Not immediately, just slightly delayed. A fraction of a second, but enough to notice. Enough to feel that you're not alone in here. You stare at your reflection, trying to convince yourself it's just your eyes, just your mind, trying to make sense of something unfamiliar. You move your head slightly left, then right, and your reflection follows, almost perfectly, but not quite. There's a delay, tiny, barely visible, but it's there. And once you see it, you can't unsee it. You raise your hands slowly, watching closely. Your reflection does the same, but just a little too late, like it's copying you. Instead of being you, your breathing changes. You feel it in your chest. The air feels colder now, sharper. You step back, and your reflection doesn't. Not immediately. It stands there for a moment longer, still facing you, still watching, before finally stepping back too, matching your position again. And that's when you realize it's not delayed. It's deciding. You leave the bathroom quickly, not running, but faster than before, because staying there feels impossible now. The hallway outside feels different again. Longer, wider, and yet more closed in. You keep walking, your steps echo. But something about the sound feels off, like there's a second set of footsteps, just slightly out of sync with yours. You stop. The sound stops. You walk again. It follows, not perfectly, not exactly matching you, but close enough to feel real, to feel intentional. You reach another space, a mall corridor. It shouldn't be here. It doesn't connect, but it's there. Escalators stand still. Shops are closed, metal shutters down, lights flickering overhead. It feels abandoned, but not empty. Never empty. More like paused, like everything stopped mid-moment and never started again. You walk deeper into the mall. Your footsteps echo differently here. Wider space, more distance. But the feeling doesn't change. That same pressure, that same awareness. You turn a corner and stop because you recognize it. The same corridor, the same store, the same broken light above. You walk forward again, trying to ignore it, trying to rationalize it, but then it happens again, another turn. Another identical space. Same doors, same lights, same distance, repeating, over and over. You turn around. It's the same behind you, no difference, no variation, just repetition. Perfect. Endless, like you're inside a copy of a place, not the real one. A version of it recreated, again and again, and now you don't know which direction is forward anymore. You reach for your phone. Your hand feels heavier than it should, like even that small movement takes effort. The screen lights up. Cold blue glow. The only real light in the space. No signal, no time, no notifications, just a blank interface. Like it lost connection not just to the network, but to everything you stare at it, trying to ground yourself, trying to find something familiar, something real, and then you notice the reflection on the screen behind you. The corridor stretches into darkness. You didn't turn around, but you can see it clearly, and something is there, not fully visible, not clear, but present. Standing just outside the light, you turn quickly. Nothing. Empty, silent. But when you look back at your phone, it's still there. You start walking again. Faster now, not running, but close. The need to move is overwhelming to escape, even if you don't know what you're escaping from. The lights behind you begin to turn off. One by one, each step you take, another light dies. The darkness follows, slow, controlled, like it doesn't need to rush, because it knows you can't outrun it. Your breathing gets louder, your steps heavier. But the space doesn't change, the distance doesn't close. No matter how fast you move, you look back. The darkness is closer now, closer than it should be, closer than possible. You turn forward again, and there it is, a door, standing at the end of the corridor, slightly open, light spilling through, not warm, not cold, just bright. You approach the door slowly. Your steps feel distant, like they don't belong to you anymore. The light coming from inside is too bright, too clean. It doesn't flicker, it doesn't hum, it just exists. Perfect. Still, you reach the door. Your hand hesitates not out of fear, but because something inside you already knows. This isn't an exit, but you open it anyway, because you have to, because there's nothing else left. The door swings open silently, and beyond it, there's nothing, no room, no hallway, no outside, just white, endless white, no depth, no sound, no space, and yet it feels like something is there, waiting, just beyond what you can see. You don't step forward, not immediately, because now you understand something you didn't want to understand before. These places, the hallway, the classroom, the mirrors, the mall, they were never empty, they never were, they just felt empty. Because whatever is here doesn't need to be seen, it doesn't need to move, it doesn't need to reveal itself, it just needs you to notice it, to feel it, to realize that you were never alone in these spaces. Not when you walked in, not when you turned around, not when the lights went out, and definitely not now. You look into the white void again, and for a moment you think you see something. Not clearly, not fully, but enough to understand that this place didn't trap you. It brought you here, because you were always part of it.